Hi guys, so welcome to Art Starters. This is Miss Rinkin. Good morning. Today we're working on our elements of art, and we're going to work on value. And value is the lightness and darkness of tone. And we're dealing with black and whites today. And value is from your lightest lights to your grays to your blacks. And so we're going to do a cool little exercise with some birds. I was trying to think of something cool for you guys, and I thought this would be kind of neat. If you will notice, my birds on these power lines, they go from dark, and this is kind of a graphite, so it's kind of hard to see, but the darkest that I can get them to the lightest, and there are 10 birds. So the way we're going to start this today is you're going to need your normal paper, which is 4.5 by 5.5 or something rectangular, and today we're going to start with a little bit of a ruler to make a pole. And a lot of times when you see a power line, we really don't pay that much attention to it, but I'm going to start by just putting this pole in, and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller at the top. So I'm going to make this a little wider, and as it comes to the top of my paper, I'm going to make it just a hair short or smaller, you know, closer together there. And then I'm going to just draw this stuff in there. A lot of times power lines will have this these wires that are coming off of it. They really don't make a whole lot of sense. And then they have these things that you walk up. So I'm going to put those on there. And these are going to kind of be a little bit of something to add a little interest into our picture. And from there, I'm going to take, and I'm going to do my first power line. I want this one to be kind of straight across. And the second one I'm going to do, and I'm going to do this freehand, I'm going to stretch it, and you can see that I've got this going from here to here. I've got one here, and then I've got the one that the birds are across. The one that the birds are across is kind of a little bit slack and loose. So I'm going to start from here, and I'm going to go down and off my paper, down and off my paper. And then I'm going to come out of here, and I'm going to do the line that the birds are on. And there we go. And then from there, I'm going to begin drawing my birds. Now, the birds are very simple. That's why I picked them. You're going to start with a very simple shape. And they just kind of have little block tails. And remember, your birds don't have to be perfect. This is just so you get a good idea of what's going on with your picture. And again, you can have your birds hanging out, socializing. And, you know, birds are not the greatest at having social distance on power lines, so, you know, I'm hopefully they are being careful, you know, with their social distancing and all of this. You know, that's very important. I hope all of you guys are staying tucked away at home right now. You are probably in your PJs, hanging out. I'm not gonna lie to you, I still have my pajama bottoms on too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do a little short fat bird. 7. Let's have these having some relations, giving each other a little kiss. And then let's have this bird over here just doing what he does, doing his bird thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You guys forget I am a art teacher, not a math teacher, so I have to count this several times to make sure I'm in the right spot. Okay, so I've got my birds in there. Remember, they're very simply drawn. You can pause this as needed. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to need 2 things. Whoa. Getting all a little crazy this morning. I'm going to start with my tech liner, and I'm going to quickly begin outlining. And I'm going to do this as fast as I can, guys, because of time. You know, when I'm just drawing myself and I'm being all chill and relaxed, and then all of a sudden I have to draw quickly for you guys, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so much I want to tell you, and then I can't because I'm drawing like 100 miles an hour. But you guys get the point. So obviously I'm just filling in my power line, filling in these bird shapes. I'm getting a little crazy with this guy, but anyway, that's a big bird. I'm going to make him a little smaller. He's like the one from Pixar that gets on the power line that all the other birds try to peck off because he weighs too much. Alright, and then I'm going to begin again outlining all these lovely lines. And the power line honestly has to be pretty straight, so be careful. If you lay your hand down on a table, it balances it and evens it out. So you don't have to be a master or anything. You can honestly have much control. Now notice that I'm not going into the bird. I'm going behind the bird with my lines. This is overlapping because the birds are on the line. So I don't want to overlap the line in front of the bird. I want the bird to be in front of the power line. So I have to leave space for that by putting my line drawing behind. Okay, so I'm done with that. The next thing I'm going to do is eraser time. Woohoo! Erasing this as quickly as I can with my human fingers. Getting this done. Remember, we erase because we want to have a nice, clean, finished image. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to need a Sharpie or something. You can use whatever you have. And I'm going to color in as quickly as Miss Rinkin can the shadow, or in this case it would be the silhouette of this power line. And remember, this shape goes up to down. You know, the wooden pole goes vertical and not horizontal, so you want to make sure that you're coloring that direction. It just makes it look easier and more like it is a stationary long object, opposed to if you color this way, you'd have a really hard time keeping all of your edges straight and your Sharpie contained within. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to begin by getting a pencil. This is my favorite drawing pencil, Sketchy. I know most of my kids have seen Sketchy. This is probably like Sketchy's great-great-great-grandson at this point. But anyway, I love the Prismacolor Ebony's my favorite. But whatever you have to use, you go for it. If you have a regular number 2 pencil, guys, I'm not going to lie to you, it works great. Alright, so what I'm going to do is this first bird over here, I am going to color him in as dark as I can. I'm just going to really add some dark pigment. And then as I go this direction, I'm going to gradually get lighter. So I'm coloring him in pretty dark. He's not black, but he's as close as I can get. And then this guy, he is going to be a dark gray. And then this guy is going to be a pretty dark gray. See, I am gradually, hopefully, this is tricky, getting lighter as I go. And the cool thing about this is you can start and then you can add more pigment as needed. To color them in. Alright, now I'm going to look at this. It helps if you squint your eyes. I know that sounds silly, but I'm telling you, this is not my first rodeo, and it works. So squint your eyes, look at it, and you can tell which one needs to be darker. These two guys are very, very close, so I got to go a little bit darker here. It's easier to go darker than to erase, just saying. So save your eraser, you might need it. Who knows how long we're going to be in quarantine, correct? Alright. Okay, so from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a moment and I am going to start using my Tortillion. And for those of you guys who who have not made a Tortillion, this is not a cigar. All this is a cereal box that I have rolled up the inside of it, and I put a piece of tape on it, and I've made a point, and this becomes a great smoothing, smearing tool. It's extraordinary. And so I am blending, smoothing my little birdies down with a cereal box. Yeah, but guess what? We are in quarantine and no judging here. We're doing the best we can, right, with what we got. And all Miss Rinkin had was a cereal box. So that's what Miss Rinkin is using. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to show you how to do real fast is we're going to take 2 markers. Whatever you have will work. I have picked for my picture, you guys can't even see the tops of those. I have a pink, a light pink, like a dusty rose, and then I have a, oh my gosh, warm sunset. That's perfect, because that's what I was trying to do. I am trying to make this look like sunrise, sunset, whatever. And so the next thing I'm going to be doing is coloring this in. So notice that I'm going to go horizon-wise, right? And I'm going to begin coloring these little guys in. Try not to color over your birds. Miss Rinkin is rushing because I am on a time schedule. But I want to at least get the top version of this finished so I can show you guys what I'm doing. I think this is a kind of a cool project. I hope you guys enjoy it. Hey, you can get crazy with your birds. You can do parrots if you want to. Research bird shapes. I looked up silhouettes online, bird silhouettes, and from there I just kind of looked at them briefly, and then I did my own version. I don't know what kind of birds these are. There may be just crows, who knows. They are just my version of something to show you gradation. But if you want to get really focused with it, you can. And I encourage you to do your research. Alright, so as you see, I am coloring this in as quickly as my little hands can go, which is, in your case, not quickly enough, right? All of you that are getting bored out there, shame on you. Shame on you, shame on you. Just kidding. I understand. So I am trying to work this. Now, I'm leaving some white blank areas just because I am trying to hurry. Because I want you to get the general idea, but my version does not have to be perfect. It just has to walk you through to the finished one. So I'm hustling here. I am earning my paycheck for sure. Whoops. I'm getting in my white bird. The one bird that I do not want any paint on or any marker on, of course, Miss Rinkin is going to get it on there. You know, every day you got to figure out your positives and decide if you're going to have a positive day and fill it with sunshine, or you're going to have a negative day. I choose positivity. So one of the first steps is acknowledgement that you're not perfect, which I am totally not, and you are going to laugh at yourself. So if you hear me complaining about me, that is perfectly normal art teacher behavior. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in here with just a light striping of this pink, and I don't have to do it all the way across. I want to make sure, however, it is straight. So if I start over here, I have to kind of continue it for the most part, and I'm just doing some light striping. This is giving us the illusion, and remember, drawing is just basically an illusion of life, but it is giving us the illusion of a sunset or a sunrise, whatever floats your boat. Here we go. And then, that's good enough. Okay, and the last thing you're going to do, if you want to, is you're going to use the side of your pencil, and you're going to start at the bottom, and you're going to shade, and you're going to do a gradation scale from the bottom all the way up, and as you pull up onto your paper, you're getting lighter and lighter. I'm not going to mess with the top at all, but I'm just putting a light shadow in here. And the reason why I'm doing this light shadow is because I want to show, again, I am using my gradation to tackle the light and the dark, you know, from going from the bottom of a horizon to the top. And I'm blending this in with my Tertullian which is nothing more than my cereal box rolled inside out with a piece of tape, because we are modifying. You know, all you guys that would just throw your tortillas away at school, I bet you wish you had them now. I wish I had brought about 100 home, because there's so many supplies that I wish that I had that I don't. But sometimes it's nice to have to make do. Alright, so it makes us creative. So this is basically the end of this. This is probably my longest tutorial, so sorry that I bored you to death. But we are again doing value today with our birds. And boop. Value is the lightness and darkness of tone. I hope you guys enjoyed today, and happy drawing.